Image stabilization is a very important factor. If your image is shaking like this, it's not going to look professional. So let's go ahead and show you some options to make your image more stable. It's all right, because it's HDSLR 101. Yeah.
This episode is made possible by CPM Film Tools, your lightweight solution for caging the beast. LCD Viewfinder, the essential accessory for DSLR video. Lightcraft Workshop, the perfect tools to create the perfect image. Manhattan LCD, the affordable solution for high-definition monitoring. CheesyCam.com, your source for gear reviews and do-it-yourself video and photography projects. LINCO Lighting, professional lighting for photo and video.
Hi, this is Tony Reale from NextWaveDV.com. Today we're going to be talking about the different forms of stabilization that you can have for your camera. This does apply also to other forms of cameras out there, but HDSLRs, it's really important that you have a stable image because of the things that we've talked about previously, like rolling shutter. If you have a shaky image, it's going to affect the camera in more ways than one. This tripod right here, this is the Davis & Sanford FM18 head. Now it is attached to a slider, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But the FM18 head is actually really great. A lot of people love this tripod system. It's $180 typically with sticks, and it's actually great. It's got good drag to it. It's got a nice pan, nice tilt, everything, and a lot of people are very satisfied. For the price point, you really can't get a much better tripod in that price range. Over here, this is a Manfrotto 504 HD head. This actually just came out at the time of shooting. And so far I've been very impressed with it. I do like it. Now you've got heavier duty legs. You've got a much larger tripod platform. And if you want to find out more information about the 504 HD, you can check out our review on our website. But you are going to get a much higher price tag. This is an $800 head. Now tripod heads can also increase up to thousands of dollars. And typically the higher the price, you're going to get much higher drag, which is a good thing. You're going to be able to have more stable shots because of the resistance in the fluid head. Also, it's going to be able to handle more weight. This tripod is designed to work up to 16.5 pounds, and the weight of this rig is about right at the max of that. There are other tripods out there, heads that can handle 20, 30, 40 pounds. And if you have a very large rig, then you might need to be working with a tripod like that. All right, another option that you can get is a monopod. Now obviously by its namesake, it only has one leg. So you wouldn't want to use this for something that you're going to walk away from the camera from, but you can set the monopod up and then use your camera on top of it for adding more stability for doing long shots. There are some monopods that also have the fluid heads on top of them. These are a little more expensive, but this allows you to set your monopod down and be able to still do movement with it without having to just lock it down in one position. All right, obviously if you want to have a handheld look, the first idea would be just to go handheld with the camera. The problem is you're going to get a very large amount of jello shake from the rolling shutter issue. So you don't want to just put the camera in front of you. You want to use a shoulder rig. Now we talked a lot about rigs in a previous episode, but it's really important to remember that to get a handheld look, you should be using a shoulder rig. All right, now if you want to have smooth shots with movement, and you don't have that handheld look, one thing you can get is a slider. Now this slider here, this one you can actually build yourself. It's commonly seen on the DVX user forums as the Zaza slider. It's basically a similar design to the Glide Track, but it basically, instead of using bearings, it actually uses a plastic polymer that allows it to move really smooth. And as you can see, you can do some really dynamic shots. You can do tracking shots, you can just do normal slides, you could do a push shot where you're going to move the camera like so, and then you could push in or pull out of a shot, something like that. There's lots of options out there, and there's different models to choose from. If you want something a little higher end, you could go with a Kessler crane slider, which allows for more tracking. They also make their Cine slider, which allows you to actually put a remote controlled system and do for really long exposure shots. Say you want to do time lapse or something like that, you could have the slider move at very slow intervals. So there's lots of options for there. The biggest advantages to using a slider is obviously the size. It's really small and really easy to take around with you. Now, if a slider is too short for you, if you're wanting something longer than a 3-foot extension, you can get a dolly. And a dolly will allow you to do much longer push-ins, much longer tracking shots, stuff like that. Dollies, you can get some that have straight track. We're using either a PVC or an aluminum piping system. Or you can get flex track out there, which allows you to do more curves or do custom moves based upon your location. And the dollies can range from self-made systems up to super high-end ones that can handle lots and lots of weight. Now let's say you want to have some rising shots, or you want to get a really, really tall shot and coming down. You're going to want to use an item called a jib for that. This is a large, it can vary in size, but sometimes you'll have a very long extension, like an 8-foot or a 12-foot extension that sticks out really far, and then you can have it go above a large crowd or do a large sweeping shot. Another option that you can use for a jib is to do a smaller compact system with a fluid head on top of it, and you can use this for doing 3-dimensional movement in a scene. So instead of just moving back and forth like you would in a slider, you could have you could do going up and down, you can go left and right, you can have full range of movement by using a jib. Now, say you're going upstairs or you're going through a large room or something where a dolly is just not an option, a jib doesn't give you enough movement. Now you can use something like a steadicam. This allows you to mount a camera on top of it, and it has a counterweight system that allows you to get very smooth movement. If you are walking though, you can get a little bob with it. So then they have Steadicam arms that you can attach. These mount onto a vest, which then you basically lightly touch it, but as you're moving, the arm is able to absorb all of the bobbing that you would have from your normal walking, and it gives you very smooth gliding shots. The issue with Steadicams are they get very heavy. When you're holding it out with your arm, it's going to get very heavy, especially if you have a large vest and large camera rigs on it. Another issue that you run into is if anyone touches this, it's going to cause it to go off and it's going to start swinging back and forth. So trying to pull focus, usually you have to get a wireless follow focus, which can cost a great deal of money. So Steadicams are great for specific shots, but they aren't good to use all the time. Hopefully that helps you figure out ways to get great stable shots from your camera, and you can get some really professional work out of it. They often say that those shots with jibs, sliders, dollies, they call them the money shots because you're able to get really high quality. Those are the things that clients often look for when doing professional work. For more episodes of HDSLR 101, check out our website at nextwavedv.com, where you can find out more of our great training, such as our NextWave TV series, our Cinetips, and lots of other great training tips for you. So be sure to check that out. You can also download the entire HDSLR 101 training series if you don't want to wait for the next episode to come out. And you can check out our NextWave Tracks products, all by clicking on the product section of our website. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.